450. 9.9. We got. Can you see it's a buck? I want to make.
It's definitely a buck. It's a nice buck.
It's got to be him. It's a 4x4.
Ready?
Yep.
I'm guessing you're tired of the old hold hair or hold at the top of his back at 400 yards and hope that you hit the right spot. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be looking at a how to shoot 500 yards for hunting purposes videos like this. So come to the right spot. We're just going to cover the basics of how to shoot 500 yards. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need is not a gun. Okay, the gun that you already have is perfectly fine. 500 yards is not extreme, and it's not hard. Everybody can do it, but it is long range. I mean, it's definitely long range, especially for hunting purposes. A couple examples of why it's long range: a 7 mag at 300 yards drops 7 inches, but at 500 yards, a 7 mag drops 39 inches. So, I mean, that bullet is starting to drop off like a rock, which is why it's long range, which is why it's difficult to shoot that far, especially with Grandpa's old 3x9, which is the standard crosshairs. You know, that's a lot of holdover. So anyways, so you don't need a gun. What you do need is you need a scope. You need a scope that's capable of adjusting for elevation, okay? Whether you have a scope that has just the hash marks, the bullet drop compensation hash marks, you know, inside the scope on the reticle itself, we can shoot 500 yards with that. There's a little guesswork that has to go in there and maybe more practice, you know, to where you know those hash marks and everything in between. That works. I don't really recommend that, but what's the right way to go is just a scope that has an exposed elevation turret, and that's it. You don't need the windage turret because we don't know what the wind speed is anyways. So example again with a 7 mag, 10 mile an hour crosswind at 90 degrees at 500 yards, that's 15 inches of wind drift. Now, how do you know it's 10 miles an hour? How do you know it's not 5? How do you know it's not 13? Okay, so you're just taking a guess. And especially at 500 yards, and especially hunting, we just need to get closer. If it's that windy, if it's blowing the brush in front of you and the grass is laying over, you know, if it's windy, you got to get closer. But we're talking about good conditions, pristine, early morning, no wind. 500 yards is easy. Everybody can do it. So, okay, so you find your scope that has the adjustable elevation turret on it, okay? Now you need a ballistics calculator. There's lots of ballistics calculators out there. Hornady has a good one. It's totally free. There's Sturlock. There's apps for your phone. You can, you know, Hornady's website on the computer. Find a ballistics calculator. They're all basically the same. And then enter all the information for the caliber that you're shooting. So for example, they're gonna ask for the velocity or the feet per second. They're gonna ask for the BC, the bullet coefficient, diameter of the bullet, all this information. And you can find that either on the box that the box of ammunition that you bought, or you can find it in the reloading manual if you are hand loading. So take that information, enter it all into your ballistics calculator, and then it's going to spit out all the ranges and all the elevation adjustments. And so what you want to do then is play with that little calculator, get familiar with it, go out to the range and prove it. Shoot all those distances. Shoot 300, 4, 5, extend it. Shoot 6, 7 if you can, and prove that that thing works. And it's probably going to be really, really close, if not spot on. And after that, you want to just write that stuff down, because you'll lose this information over time for sure. You'll definitely forget it. So write it down. And what I do was, once it's all figured out, I write it down on kind of like a narrow little strip of paper, and then just tape it right to the gun stock. So it's always with that gun. Anyways, you go out hunting, you see a deer at 450, you look at your little cheat sheet right there on your gun. 450 is whatever it is, 9 MOA, and you dial up 9 MOA, and done deal every time. So that's all you need to get going shooting 500 yards. Is you just need a scope that's capable of adjusting, and then you need a ballistics calculator. Put the information together, and you'll be shooting 500 yards, no problem. All right, good luck.